Rasisa. Welcome back to another episode of One Nation's Career Corner with our beautiful lady who's going to be telling us what she does for a living in 2020. But you guys saw, this has to do with tourism. So, beautiful lady, please take it away. Tell us your name and tell us what you do exactly this year in 2020 for a living.
Okay, hi Mpilo. I'm Roshni Mehta. So I head up the Business Intelligence and Product Quality branch at Durban Tourism. So, it looks like a glorified. It looks like a glorified status, but really it's not. It's a lot of work. Behind the scenes. So for us, we don't own. Durban Tourism doesn't own products, but we're a marketing destination company. It's part of the municipality. My mandate is to, so I work on the business intelligence, that's research. So research in terms of what do visitors or what do tourists want when they come to Durban, and what experiences do they like? So I will work on their age profile. So I will work on the different source markets. So it's not one size fits all. We will, so like for example, the UK market might say, we will want a leisure. We want a high LSM. We want a 5-star experience. And then you will have another group, like maybe the Germans, that say, hey, I want to mix with the locals. So yes, I will want to come to the Max's and Ayadini, So each source market is different. So it's not one size fits all. So I work on the business intelligence. I work on what do research, on what do the visitors want when they come to Durban. I also work on the socio-economic impact assessment. I'll explain my qualification just now. The socio-economic impact assessment, that's based on how many visitors come to Durban. What are their age profiles? Which cities do they come from? So how many is domestic? That means within South Africa. How many is intra-provincial? That's within KZN. And how many is international? And how many is Africa? So so that we understand where our consumers come from, where our clients come from. I also work on the spend. That means how much do they spend when they come to Durban? Do they spend overnight? Do they stay overnight? Where do they stay? Which areas do they stay? How many stay in Umhlanga? How many stay in Morningside? How many stay in the west? In the south. So I am able to give that sort of statistics, which will assist our marketing managers. I also work on the city's GDP. Tourism contributes, is the third contributor towards the city's GDP. So I even work on, what is our GDP per year? And job, of course, job creation, which is important. And then I also work on trend analysis. Year on year. What is like the past 5 years? What is our trend analysis so that we can project for the future what tourism will be like in Durban? And then, of course, aligning to national, to the province as well. So that's one of my mandates. And then the other one is product quality. So I work on compliance. Of course, we have to look at the quality of our products for our visitors, for our travelers. So to make sure that all the establishments, all the products are now with COVID-19, that the health and safety protocols are in place. If an establishment says we are 4-star, to make sure that they are 4-star, so that we don't get any complaints from our visitors. So that's my job. Yes.
Basically, you have many jobs. Just described so many things to me. Like I was letting you roll. You just described so many things because a person like me, like especially a kid in high school, I can promise you the things you just mentioned, they have got no idea about. They'll be like, what? there's so many jobs, because obviously now it's going to bring us to the whole starting part, but there's so many jobs within the tourism sector, and especially in Durban tourism, that like me as a person who has stayed in Durban, I didn't know. Like honestly, when I think about tourism, with me, I don't think about a tour guide. Like I promise you, like most people think about like tourism, like okay, tour guide, B&B, maybe from a consumer standpoint, but not from the jobs that come with working in the tourism sector. That is incredible. Like I didn't know any of these things, and I'm sure the kids who are watching this right now, that are watching this, don't know any. So now, how does one get to work for any tourism sector? Let's say, how did you basically end up working for Durban Tourism?
Okay, so before I start with that, I just want to say to all the viewers, so Durban Tourism, or most tourism entities, so there's different disciplines, or there's different departments. So mine is business intelligence and product quality. Then there's the marketing. So we have marketing managers. Under the marketing managers, there's marketing officers. My department, so I have 6 staff under me. So it is so it's the senior manager, business intelligence and product quality. Then there's the product quality manager. Then you have quality inspectors that will go to all businesses to check if they are quality assured, and then we have a quality coordinator. Then we have 2 researchers that help with research studies. Research studies that we do, for example, I conduct research studies. It's like niche tourism. So like if we look at Durban is a port city, so I will look on cruise tourism or medical tourism. Do you know that medical tourism in KZN contributes to 2% of the country's economy? So those are the things.
So what is even medical tourism? Like you're telling me, I don't know any of these things. Like it's very interesting.
So medical tourism is, do you know that international visitors come to KZN or will come to South Africa to, for example, for an operation? A heart operation, or they have cancer, for example. And we have international hospitals, for example, Gateway Hospital they have a whole lot of international clients, visitors that come to stay in the hospital, and they do the operation there. And the reason for that is because we are definitely cheaper than the other countries, looking at the rand value compared to dollars, euros, and pounds. And also our healthcare facilities are international standards. Our healthcare workers, our doctors, our surgeons are of international standard as well. And we have really good reviews, even in the KZN region, the Grace Hospital as well. So we do contribute 2% of the country's economy, medical tourism, as well as religious tourism, for example. Religious tourism is huge. If you look at the different types, like the Hare Krishna movement, every year you will find the Durban beachfront full of domestic visitors. They contribute. They are the ones that stay at all the hotels along the beachfront and contribute towards the economy in Durban. You know, so it's that type of things that we do. Even cruise tourism. Cruise tourism is huge now in Durban, and we are pushing for like, for example, the MSC cruise, to make sure that the visitors stay 2 to 3 nights in Durban before they embark on their journeys. So that is what we do. Another sort of research is, do you know that the boarding schools, there are so many international students living in KZN, in our boarding schools. For example, Michael House, Hilton College, Clifton, you know. So, and we did a survey, and so most of the parents, and most of them come from China. They come from Australia. They come from the SADC region, you know. And their parents actually buy houses, invest in Durban, live in hotels, and stay, and you know, and have holidays in Durban with their kids. So those are the type of things that we do. Then we have the marketing managers. Then we also have information services where we provide information brochures. An example, for example, the information services, we have brochures. We take that to, for example, WTM, World Trade Organization in London, ITB in Germany, and we translate these brochures into Mandarin, some Cantonese, French, Spanish, and those brochures are for the tourists in different languages, talking about Durban and its products. So this is
basically everything you just counted with me. What I am seeing because of this career corner, Nation Career Corners, you're basically showing the viewers and the kids who are watching, whoever's watching, that there are so many jobs that come with working within the tourism sector. Like, I never knew, I don't want to lie to you, I knew that tourism, they'll say it brings the most money in the country, so tourism has to be, but I never knew how many jobs that are available. Just counting people that work under you alone, the people who work under you alone, forgetting about these outside factors, forgetting about your hospitals, your schools, your B&Bs and all of this, just the people who work underneath you alone, who are working there, which is incredible. Like, I never thought about that. Got something in my eye. I don't know how that happened. I never knew that. And then it's nice to know that obviously if somebody's interested in studying tourism now, they can take this video, look at it, and start Googling some of the terms you are mentioning on how to get in some of these industries, how to get some of these qualifications, because we need that, how to get, because it's not only people who have businesses who benefit from tourism. You can study now, bringing to you and your qualifications and your studies. Like, if you can just tell us what you studied and how.
So I have a master's degree in business administration. I have a master's degree and international master's degree in business administration. So, and I've got 25 years experience in research. But in different disciplines of research. So that's the thing. When you and I'll talk about research because that's my passion. If you are studying, for example, and I'll tell you what you should study. You should get into something like business science. Instead of doing a normal accounting or degree, or you should look at something like business science, where you can branch out into any discipline. So business science will have economics. Economics is really, so look at scarce skills, look at economics, stats, and marketing. So don't just go into an institution and just do marketing. Try to broaden your degree so that you are able to cover many disciplines. So with a business science degree, for example, you are doing stats, you're doing economics, you're doing development studies, you are looking at the science of business as well as marketing. So you can actually fit in anywhere in the world.
Wow.
And continue. So business science, and the best part of business science is that it has a built-in honors degree. So the more you study, don't just come out with a 3-year degree. Come out with an honors, because you will have a better, also understanding of what you are, of your subject matter. That's the first thing. The second thing that I have done, and I have a daughter who's 22. She's doing business science because I pushed her into that. She could have get something into the medical health fields, but I just found that. She's. I think it would be better with business science, and she loved what she's doing. She's 4th year. She's studying at UCT. Already there's starts coming in to interview her. She's sitting at a 75%, and again, I tell you, even in your university, or whatever you're doing, do not just sit back and say, "Okay, I passed," because companies do not just look at that. Companies look at the cream of the crop. So you've got to be ahead of the pack. So even in your university years, yes, play hard, but study hard. Make sure that you are always over 70%, 75%.
Yes.
That's what I suggest. My star, I'm being honest, I will not take someone that doesn't have a BTech and over degree.
Oh, okay.
Because the reason for
I hope you're listening.
The reason for that is because in terms of research, they need to understand. So they have to do a dissertation. They have to understand research methodologies. So, and you can't teach that. You have to do a degree to that extent. With my inspectors, it's better. They do have diplomas in tourism. But I push them. Both my staff have BTech. I've chosen a BTech degree. So education is important. It just helps in terms of understanding. And it helps with less development. We will develop in terms of what is what is like sort of. We will develop in terms of what we require, in terms of experience. That we will develop, but not in terms of education. So you have to go out and really educate yourself. And there are so many people that apply for jobs like this. So you're looking at for one job. I know I get like 500 to 1,000. And we have to shortlist, and to like 20. Then they write tests. They will write a test, and then we will shortlist further for an interview. So, and then also make sure that you are computer competent. You need to, your Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel has to be excellent. That is important. And then I was telling you, earlier, so I've done a TEFL course, and I think if you don't know what you want to do, it's good. Sorry, I know it is. It's going to be. Thank you. It's going to be. It's actually. It'll be better for you if you do that. If you don't know what you want to do, it's best to take a gap year. Okay. And so my advice is that it's expensive to do that. So I would suggest you do a 6-month TEFL course. That's a TEFL, TEFL. That's teaching English to foreign learners. Okay. And so you do that 6 months TEFL course, and with a good institution. I see there's a lot of specials. If you go onto the website, Daddy's Deals, you'll find all these deals. Takealot.com will have these sort of, especially Daddy's Deals. They'll have that specials on these TEFL courses. Do that TEFL course and travel. So you will go to, for example, Tunisia, and you go to China, or you will go to Hong Kong or Korea, and these and you go through a company, and they are credible companies. And what you do is they will provide you with an apartment. They will provide you with a small sort of salary, and they will provide you with transport. And you will teach, and you will teach there. Yes. And then you are also then, being introduced to other teachers and other people, other learners. And I think that broadens your horizon. Travel broadens your horizon, and it is the biggest sort of education for me. It's travel.
Okay. So for those people who on their bio on Instagram, you'll see, and the first thing they'll say, travel, this and that. So they could actually be looking at, tourism could be an industry that is really made for me, because what's the point of always traveling? As at least travel with somebody who's paying your check, because I'm sure that's you working for Durban Tourism, you've seen parts of the world that a person who's like a normal schmojo like me has never seen. So imagine if a kid in high school has that aspiration and saying, okay, I like traveling, I like going out with my family, so why don't I look at tourism as a thing, because it's part of a passion that I actually enjoy. Because there's some people who don't like travel. There's people who literally just like being stuck, like who stay in Durban, they'll go somewhere, come back like, I don't want to live on. And there's people who really enjoy traveling. So maybe those people could really look at tourism plus education say, hey, why don't I try and do something that's going to enable me to travel, to actually look at the world and get paid for it? Because basically, it's a passion of yours, it's something that you enjoy doing, which is very, very dope. Wow, thank you so much for, you literally just blew my mind with all this information, because you just came prepared. It's very, very, yes, we don't want
Thanks, Peter.
Videos to be way too long. We want them to be less than 30 minutes, 25 minutes, but the information that they have with people like you which are experts in these industries, it's amazing. So thank you so much for everything you just said for us. So one thing before you go, tell me the challenges that say you face as a person who works within the tourism industry that maybe perhaps you face or other people have faced, that you can say. I know one that you just said, that a person needs to be very well educated for that, because you told me you get 1,000 applications, you have to shortlist maybe to like 5. What are other things that watching this and say, hey, I want to start tourism, and they can just look out for tips that you can give them before we close off?
I'll say education. That's the first thing. The next challenge I would say is that sometimes tourism is a bit saturated. Because there's so many people doing marketing. There's so many people doing tourism. That is why I say I didn't do tourism. So I would say the challenge is that, research what you really want. And sometimes you don't know which niche market you are, or where you want to be. Sometimes it's just best to do more of a general course, and then from there, so like, for example, again, I would say like business science, you can get into tourism, you can get into the banking sector, you can get into the engineering sector, because it's about critical. It's about analyzing, and it's about critical thinking. So that's what people want. So I would say the challenge is as well, sometimes tourism is a bit saturated. Everyone wants to do tourism because it seems to be very glorified. It's really not. It's a lot of hard work behind the scenes. And we get our challenges because it's not easy to, market a destination, and we are always in competition. But my suggestion is look at a broader sort of degree. Again, as I said, business science or economics or something like that, so that you will have, a better position. You'll stand a better position in every other disciplines, every other business.
Wow. Those are some true gems right there. Those are some true gems. I honestly thought you were going to say, no, go study tourism in this particular institution and run. I'm not even going to ask you about that, because what you said actually makes so much sense than it's saying go direct and study for tourism. That's thank you so much. You've surprised me. Like I'm wow. This kind of information will really help the people listening, and to help people who are looking for careers, people who are looking for careers in the tourism, people who've got certain qualifications but they don't know how to use them, because I feel like they can apply them here, but now that's another option to look at. Wow, okay. I think we have touched on everything that we had to touch on for today. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your Friday in Devon. Yeah, and be safe that side.
And well done on the work that you do as well. Kudos to you.
I'm trying.
Kudos to you. Well done.
Me and the guys really trying to help kids really see the importance of education and empowering themselves in education, so they can actually face the world. Because like they've always say, education is literally the key to success. It's like literally the key to success, because with that qualification, that degree that you have, that you have something to build on. Unlike saying, I don't have anything, but I want to work in this thing, and it feels like you're being let down. Before you go, we have a beautiful slogan that we say here for all our viewers, with all our guests that have come here since the beginning of this until now. It goes Ratata, Career Corner, Ratata. Can you say it for us?
Ratata, Career Corner, Ratata. And before I leave, my parting thought is, as a student as well, you can become a blogger. You can become an influencer. You know,
Yes, sure.
so talking about Durban, for example, and you can get into different sort of blogging, culinary, adventure, you know. So you can even start, you know, using your phone, becoming a blogger, and you will be invited then as a blogger to different countries to talk about their countries, or even here in KZN or another province as a blogger. And the more viewership you get, the more popular you get, and you'll be invited, and you can travel like that, free of charge. So even think about that as well, as a blogger, as an influencer. You know, you can even get into journalism to that as well, tourism journalism, as a tourism journalist. There's just so many. There's just so much actually out there.
That's so incredible. I'm becoming a blogger. Just so you know, guys, I'm going to start to become a blogger. When you see me in Germany, you must know that it's because of my blogging work. Get that? Sure.
You'll be an excellent blogger. I would follow you definitely.
Okay, cool.
Cheers.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for your time. Thanks for everything. Anyway, Ratata Career Corner. Think big, think sharp, educate yourself. Cut. We out.